Good mothers of beasts, tired of spending tranquilizing arrows in the rough? Here I bring you the solution with the domestication of a tameo assistant with you, the Pachi. Pachy or Pachycephalosaurus, this one is exactly as fast in swimming as it buries, and after its domestication its speed is slightly reduced. His temperament is passive aggressive, and after testing I discovered that he attacks in groups, so be very careful with this one, especially since this one can send you to count sheep. These are their locations on the different types of maps, and from what you see, that let me tell you that this is portable by Argentavis Viber. Salt, Rin, and Ocnata, Megalosaurs, Carcinos, Tusatutis, Caprosuchos, and the Brood can be carried by a Procoptodon. In turn, this is studiable by Boleadora, Lecus Loop, Net Projectile, and Bear Trap. Domestication is very simple. It does not have great resistance to drowsiness, therefore with a Boleadora and a crossbow it will be more than enough to sleep at a low level. If on the other hand you end up with a high level one like my occasion, I recommend that you make a trap. Remember, that's your enable with flyers, so you'll leave it alone and have to trap around it with wooden walls. It will be more than enough, and since he cannot harm them. Interesting fact, even if it looks larger than it is, it can pass through door frames, so the structures will have to be solely and exclusively window frames. He has awesome damage reduction if you hit him in the head, so in order to be able to sleep him, make main target his body for 1 level, 150.1 weapon, primitive quality. These are the tranquilizers needed. This one does not escape. You can also use Tameo helpers, and if you have any here for you, I also leave you the table. This is his unconsciousness time. Any food that exceeds this, well, you will have to give him narcotics, more efficient food. The simple Okivel kibble, 7 pieces for 9 minutes, followed by the vegetables or crops, 64 pieces for 42 minutes, and last but not least, the best berries. 85 pieces for 42 minutes. Work the food of the domesticated. I recommend you exit the game, look for the player's dino food consumption section, put a creative number on it, and re-enter. Once the wine food is completely down, that is at zeros, you will exit again and change this parameter to 1. Remember to keep your pets in cryopods or out of their reach so it doesn't affect them. Un Pachi de nivel 450 nos pedirá 90 llaves para duplicar su tiempo de domesticación. Pachy's egg is a small egg and is used to make simple kibble. Here I show you the recipe. His mount unlocks at level 14. It is manufactured from our inventory. These are its materials, and weapons are allowed on top of this for better life. Pachy will drop us meat, skin, and keratin. And a level 150 will give us 127.2 experience points. It is capable of farming straw and wood and can only damage straw and greenhouse structures. Beware of aberrant type raptors and those with riders, as they can dismount us. It has 2 types of attacks and these have different damage. The primary attack is the one that contains the least base damage, but it also has the ability to inflict the same damage that it generates to the same amount of torpor instantly. Although this blow has the ability to generate torpor, it is not recommended for sleeping creatures. This is due to the large percentage of mortality that the attack has. Secondary, it has a little more damage than the primary attack and is an attack that, when impacting the target, will generate torpor equivalent to 3.5 the damage of the dino, and yes, the torpor generated is instantaneous. This charge is somewhat buggy and suits us 100% because if we are too close to the dino and apply the charge, it will hit the dino a total of 4 times, thus generating an incredibly high amount of torpor in a very short time. And as everyone said, everything has to be balanced, and that is why this load cannot be maneuvered to the Pachy. It will only run in a straight line. I'm going to give you a little pro tip so you can use this load as efficiently as possible. Attack all the dinos you are going to tame as close as possible to take advantage of this quadruple blow, but when they start fleeing because they are already about to fall asleep, I recommend that you take your distance. This is because if you give Pachy the chance to accelerate as much as possible, he will only make a blow generating less torpor. But being a blow like that, you will avoid losing efficiency when taming any dino. The last thing you should know about the second attack is that this one does not farm anything, neither fences nor straw nor wood. It cannot destroy objects, so this is also part of its nerfio. As a curious fact, Pachy can jump mixed, so that this domestication can serve us because that's where your rolls go. Pachy is a creature that is obtained at very early levels in the game, and thanks to his loading ability, although we cannot maneuver it, the truth is that spends very little. This mine can be used perfectly as a travel dino, if you can find an area that is incredibly wide and also very free and flat. Remember that when Pachy hits something, she stops dead, and for this role you will only have to increase the speed of this mine and if necessary the weight so that it can carry you. Thanks to the fact that it can perform quadruple hits and that they can generate Thor for each one of them, it can be used as... Together, they are going to use him as Tamio's assistant. Of course, be very careful because this charges a bad blow and then you will begin to lose efficiency in your domesticated ones. Contrary to popular belief, increasing the speed will not increase the amount of torpor it is capable of generating to squeeze the maximum juice out of this characteristic. Raise this mine melee damage and if necessary, depending on the worthy one to tame. You will raise the life so Pachy can resist. As I've said in other domestication remasters, Pachy had a huge buff when updating since in the old ARK it did not have the ability to load, therefore it was not suitable for taming. But that has changed and I hope many of you will start using this mount because it is the third domestication that needs the least impacts to put any dino to sleep and one of the least likely to kill him. I dare say that this domestication could be used to replace narcotic arrows. I sincerely hope that you liked the video, that you loved the most important thing, that it helped you know whether or not to domesticate a Pachy or Cephalosaur. If you can go now, give me a good like, subscribe if you are not, and without further ado, see you.